What is the most satisfying way you saw a smirk get wiped off someone's face? I was 22 and just moved into my first apartment after college. A week in, I started noticing these nasty black patches forming on my bathroom ceiling. They looked gross and kept getting bigger. I called my landlord Frank about it. This guy was a real piece of work. Always walked around with mirrored sunglasses and a Bluetooth headset like he was some big shot. When I told him about the black stuff, he laughed at me over the phone. "That's not mold, kid. That's just a stain. You're being way too dramatic." But over the next month, things got bad. My throat started getting scratchy all the time. My nose was constantly stuffed up. I couldn't breathe right, especially at night. One night, I woke up gasping for air like I was drowning. That scared the hell out of me, so I went to urgent care. The doctor asked me about my living situation and said it sounded like mold exposure. He told me to get it tested right away. I went to the hardware store and bought one of those home mold test kits. I scraped some of the black stuff off my ceiling and sent it to a lab. 2 weeks later, the results came back. Toxic black mold. The scientific name was something like Stachybotrys chartarum. The report said it was dangerous and could cause serious breathing problems. I forwarded the whole thing to Frank in an email. His response? A smiley face emoji and, "I don't take health advice from WebMD warriors." That's when I stopped talking to Frank and started talking to a lawyer who specialized in tenant issues. This guy was sharp. He looked up Frank's history and found out he had been pulling this crap for years. 6 years of building code violations, leaking pipes that were never fixed properly, roof problems that got covered up with paint instead of actually repaired. The lawyer filed a formal complaint with the city housing department. A few days later, I got a call that inspectors were coming to check out the building. I didn't tell Frank they were coming. I was at work when they showed up. My neighbor texted me that Frank was in the hallway yelling at 2 people in hard hats. When I got home that evening, Frank was standing outside the building with a stack of papers in his hands. No sunglasses, no Bluetooth headset, just standing there looking defeated. The city had slapped him with a $25,000 fine. They also ordered him to fix every single problem in the building before he could legally rent any units again. The inspector found mold in 3 other apartments too. My lawyer got me 3 months of rent back, plus all my medical bills covered. Frank also had to pay for me to stay in a hotel for 2 weeks while they tore out the moldy drywall and replaced it. The best part was when I went to his office to pick up my check. Frank was sitting behind his desk without his usual cocky attitude. His face looked tired and stressed. His hands were shaking a little when he handed me the envelope. "Here's your money," he said quietly. I opened the envelope to make sure the amount was right. As I was counting, he said, "You know, I've been doing this for 15 years. Never had anyone actually follow through with legal action. Maybe you should have fixed the mold when I first told you about it," I said. He just nodded and looked down at his desk. The smirk that used to live on his face was completely gone. He looked like a man who finally realized his actions had real consequences. 2 months later, I heard from another tenant that Frank sold the building. Apparently, the fines and repair costs put him in serious debt. His property management company went out of business.